Hello everyone, welcome back to another video. Today we're back in AFK Journey, and in today's video I wanted to make a Skyclops Dream Realm boss guide because lately we've been doing it for most of the Dream Realm bosses and I want to do it for all of them now that I feel like we have all the information we need to come up with the best team comps and all the possible heroes you can be running depending on which heroes you have built up or ascended, and also what stage of the game you're at. If you're in an earlier stage, you're going to need more of a supportive type team comp with fewer damage dealers usually, and if you're in a late game team then you can run more damage dealers. Anyway, a quick account progress update before we get into the guide is that we made it to AFK stage 575, which means that we unlocked floor 7 of the Dura's Trials, which is always a good milestone to hit because then you get more first time rewards and also a higher chance of dropping rare charms each time you sweep. But the real thing that is important for you to shoot for is try to get to AFK stage 550 as quickly as you can and begin clearing Dura's Trial on floor number 6, and that is because when you have 10 stages cleared of floor number 6 in the Dura's Trials, you're going to get a bonus token, and instead of having 3 tokens that sweep with daily, you will have 4 tokens, and so that will just help you get your charms a bit faster. But again, don't feel pressured. Like if you're having a difficult time pushing the AFK stages, you will get there eventually. Once you level up your account and your heroes are leveled up, you can even auto battle through stages. And even today, from 550 to almost 575, we auto battled most of the stages because we just had a level advantage and we're able to do that. Okay, so first of all, Skyclops. There are going to be almost always 3 key heroes you always want to run, which are, I'm going to lock them in first: Smokey, Coco, and Odie. So Smokey is the best healer as long as he doesn't get interrupted, because he has attack buff, he has haste buff for your team, it increases your damage dealt, he keeps your team alive because he has AoE healing for everyone on your team with massive amounts of healing. No hero can do what Smokey does, so you want to use him here even if you only have 1 copy of him. His key for maximum potential is Mythic Plus, because then he will get his upgraded blue aura, which will also deal a lot of damage to the boss and clear the summons that the boss will spawn periodically throughout the match. That's why Smokey is key. Coco is going to be your best form of support for reducing the damage that your team takes, staggering the damage, and if you have Coco at Mythic Plus, the shield also just gives you so much damage reduction that it will allow your team to survive for longer. And for example, for me, it will allow me to survive until the end of the boss fight without anyone dying. But I still do need to run Coco, and you will need to run Coco until maybe we unlock endless modes. So even up to elite, Coco has a place here because you need that protection. Otherwise you're going to wipe early, and then even if you had multiple damage heroes, you're going to end up getting off less damage because you just die early. So, and the final thing is that because you have the healing, and healing is not reduced in the effectiveness, Coco really does well with healing, because Coco can reduce and stagger the damage so that you can heal up and keep healing it up, and then you only have to take 50% of the damage after her ultimate ends. So these 2 are key heroes. You do not want to replace them until like in the future maybe, but even as of right now, they are the best options in beginner to even late game teams. Odie is your best damage dealer. He has so much consistent damage. Even if you don't have him at highly ascended, he can still get off a really good amount of damage, but really you want to get a Mythic Plus and try to upgrade his exclusive equipment to plus 10. That's his major power point, and then getting him to Supreme Plus also will increase his damage further. So those are the key things, but even if you don't have him that ascended, he's still a great option here and probably still one of your best damages you can run. Now we're going to come to the debuffer slot. In all Dream Realm bosses, you're going to be running a debuffer, and usually that is Rainier if you have Rainier at Mythic Plus, because he's going to increase the damage that the boss takes more than any other hero can, and he takes it from all, and it increases the damage dealt from all sources, magic and physical. But if you don't have Rainier at Mythic Plus, you can definitely run Thorin. He also has a Soul Plunder effect, which is like kind of like a mini version of Rainier's debuff, because your team is going to deal 17% more damage to the boss with Thorin. And the other option is Kruger, of course, but he is for physical debuffs, really strong and powerful physical debuffs, but it doesn't help Odie. But it will help if you're running another physical damage dealer. For example, C-Tier early game is totally viable. In late game, once you have Merrily Mythic Plus, this is going to be the team that you want to run. And yeah. So let's go to the Rainier. Rainier is going to be the best option for a debuffer. We talked about Thorin and Kruger, which are both usable, but don't run multiple debuffers. Just run one debuffer in Skyclops because you don't have enough room. You have the Smoky, Coco, Odie, and then Rainier, or either Kruger or Thorin. And then finally, we're going to want another damage dealer here because you have the sustain, you have the protection for your team with Coco, you have the healing from the Smoky. You are going to be able to get away with 2 damage dealers who can survive throughout the entire fight. And like we mentioned, Cicia is always going to be a good option for a damage dealer. In all Dream Realm bosses, she can work, and because early game she's going to be one of your highest ascended heroes, you can run her. But as soon as you get Merrily to Mythic Plus, which should be a priority in what you're focusing on, then Merrily is going to be the best option as a damage dealer because she is the best boss killer in the game. I mean, Odie might be better now that the slight changes happened to the boss, but still, if we're going to try to look at the damage after we're done with this fight, and you're going to see that they do almost the same amount of damage, Merrily and Odie. And yeah, so Merrily is going to be the best damage dealer option if she's Mythic Plus. If you don't have Merrily at Mythic Plus, like we mentioned, you can run Cicia, it's totally viable, or you can run Corrin if Corrin is Mythic Plus. He can also help clear the minions a little bit faster. He also deals a lot of damage at Mythic Plus, but not quite as much as Merrily, of course. And then finally, you could also run Florabelle. Florabelle now has become very popular in Dream Realm bosses and even PvE content like pushing AFK stages. Usually you're always going to find a team with Florabelle pushing AFK stages at a level deficit. Florabelle is really strong. All of her summons, they can deal a lot of extra damage, but still I don't feel like she doesn't deal more damage than Merrily, so Merrily is still, in my opinion, the best option here. And you can also run things like Vala if you have a highly ascended Vala, if you summon her a lot during her limited banner. And yeah, that's pretty much all that I want to talk about. In the future, when Coco can be replaced, I can't do it currently, and I don't think anyone will be able to do anytime soon. But once we get to Endless Mode, when we're maybe over level 400 on our heroes, then you can replace even Coco for another damage dealer. For either Corrin would be a great option for killing the minions, dealing more damage to the boss, or Scarlita. A lot of people use Scarlita if she's highly ascended. I don't know how well she'll do if she's not that ascended. And then, or you can just run any other basically damage dealer, Florabella, Cassidy. Cassidy also is a reasonable option for a damage dealer you can run, but again, like if you only have 2 slots for damage dealers, Merrily and Odie are your best 2, and Merrily should be Mythic Plus, though she can be used before that, and then you can just run something like this if you don't have her at Mythic Plus. Okay, now finally let's talk about the artifacts before we finally get into
what a tough fight.
A run. So the artifacts are like the other Dream Realm bosses, starshard spell, Quick Blade spell, or Evocation spell. So it's really like there's kind of like all of them do pretty well, and with RNG all of them can sometimes even beat out each other. For me personally, like the only real difference I see is Evocation spell has some shielding, has some lifesteal, so it's more like kind of a defensive, but it also has offensive. It has attack boost, it has haste increase, so it's not like fully it's not a defensive spell, and it has a crit 11 at 7.7% attack, which is even higher and better in stat distribution than the Quick Blade spell. But it will be kind of like half and half, and because you have Coco and Smoky to keep your team alive, like I feel like you have so much sustain, you're not going to need that bonus shielding or bonus life drain. So I feel like those buffs are kind of wasted. And so it might just be better to go for like Quick Blade. In my opinion, I think Quick Blade is going to be the best option here. We'll try it. And Starshard also always is good. The damage that gets that you deal after casting your 3 ultimates is a lot of damage. The haste is always a good effect to have. So we're going to go ahead and we're going to try the Quick Blade spell, and then we're going to experiment with other ones. This is currently the Elite Challenge. We're going to clear this for sure, but then we're going to move on to... After Elite, what comes? I think we're going to clear this, right? Yeah, it looks like we're definitely on track to clear this. I think there's an Epic challenge. After Elite, is it Epic? Or is it Elite 2 or something? But yeah, we're still quite a ways away from Endless Mode. Endless Mode will probably... I think it will happen around when we're like level 400 resonating level. And I also want to talk a bit about my predictions about what is going to be the level cap in the new season. Yeah, it is Epic. So it goes like Common, Difficult, Elite, Epic, I think. And then after Epic, I don't remember if it's Endless Mode or not, but like the final weapon is of level 400 season weapon. And if we look at the season skills, they max and cap out at level 451. So because they cap out level 451, I'm guessing, like, okay, if we remember, like, before the new season occurred, the last skill that we unlocked was level 211 on our heroes, and then we went up to 240, and the equipment level max was 240. So for some reason I have a feeling that 451 is going to be the maximum level, and then the levels will go up to 500, and the equipment level will go up to 500, and then after that maybe, I think you will get more stats. Like, for example, from level 240 all the way to 300, we were getting more stats on our heroes, but after level 300 it was kind of like, that is an official hard cap. So I think from level 500 to 600 it will be increasing in power of your heroes, and level 600 will be the hard cap. That's just something like I'm thinking, because 300 was a hard cap of before the new season, so like 600 double that could be the hard cap of after the season. So Rainier did die, but it doesn't matter if he dies, he doesn't contribute any damage, and this really goes to show why Coco is so important, because definitely if we did not have Coco here, Odie and Merrily would be long gone by now. And you want to survive until the end of the fight. Hopefully we can make it to 50%. You want to try to make it to those cutoffs to get the bonus rewards, but even if you can't make it this time, you can go for it next time around. Okay, just over 50%, that's really awesome. I want to see what rank we're gonna get off of that. Rank 6, so even higher than yesterday where we got rank 7, and we did actually manage to finish rank 7. The last 3 days in a row, we finished rank 7 exactly. And if we look at the district ranking, 37, 35, 34, not bad. And right now we're 28 and we're ranked 6, but it's because someone hasn't attacked too strong, right? Main one hasn't attacked, and main one will surpass us for sure. It's what is really interesting and fun. Like, it's fun to see people who were not competing for top 10 before are now competing for top 10, and it depends on a bit how much you spend on the new season, but also the fact that other people have been leaving or not playing as actively, the people who are in the top of the leaderboards. Okay, we're going to try it again, but this time we're going to go for starshard spell. I just want to try to increase as much damage as possible. And you might be thinking, why are we teleporting Odie into the front line? It doesn't really matter. It's still, like, the boss will select who to target as, like, your official tank of your team before the fight even begins. And it is your frontmost hero, which here is in this case Smokey. And we talked about that you do not have to put Smokey in the frontmost position. If he's having difficulty surviving, put him into the second line and put like another hero up in the front who has no trouble surviving. Yeah. Okay. So with the start, and it's pretty amazing to me that even though we have level 16 on the seasonal artifacts, the starshard spell is actually still competing in damage in the Dream Realms, even though it's at plus 10. Which goes to show you how powerful the effect is. And also for AFK stage pushing, you're almost always using starshard spell or the confining spell. You hardly ever use the seasonal artifacts because they just have really powerful effects. Starshard spell, especially because it deals AoE damage to the enemy team, it's pretty insane. Okay, so we're gonna be right over 45%. We have 15 seconds left on the clock. I think we're gonna get a new best off of this. It depends if the minions are gonna spawn again, but even if they do, we get our new best. Yeah. So this shows you that starshard spell actually did not only the same amount, but a little bit better than Quickblade. But I do think it also will depend a bit on RNG. Now let's go for the Evocation spell and let's see, will this actually deal more damage, or is it just going to be a combo of survivability and a little bit of extra damage? Yeah, but if you're having difficulty surviving, I think that is the time when Evocation spell is your best option. Or even maybe once we try to replace Coco for a third damage dealer and we're really like pushing it close, almost dying to the boss, then Evocation spell for the consistency and keeping everyone alive will be good. But yeah, because there are 4 different buffs that the Evocation spell will spawn in order. Like the first one I think is we can read through them, but I think the first one's the bull one, which gives you a shield, and then there's like a bear one, and there's all the different like animal types. We can actually look at it after this match. Oh, but we need to check the damage output of Odie and Merrily, that's what I mentioned, so let me try to remember that at the end of this fight. But yeah, all these artifacts do pretty much comparable damage there, and that's why it's always a toss-up about which one you would like to use. So previously we got 45% and then the minions spawned and then we cleared them, and then we had to 15 seconds left on the clock to kill. Right now though, the minions aren't going to spawn until later. Okay, so we need to beat 51%. Rainier goes down, but that's fine because he doesn't contribute that much damage anyway. With the Evocation spell, can we beat our best score, 51%? We barely do. Okay, so they all did about around the same amount of damage, but did turn out the Evocation spell did the most. And OD way out damaged Merrily, which this is kind of insane, but I do believe once we unlock the full endless mode and like Merrily's maxed out, all of our heroes are maxed out in stats, then I think Merrily is going to shred through the boss. It's kind of right now because they said that because basically the damage reduction of the boss at lower levels is going to be more impactful than the defense gains that the boss has, and that's why true damage is going to be reduced just like other types of damage. And let's see the other rankings. So yeah, of course we cannot compete with these people because they have such a level advantage over us. Yeah, but overall really good. I'm happy with that. We got equipment. Got the equipment chest. Cool. There's always a really good, really like satisfying reward to get from doing well in the Dream Realm. And yeah, we leave the tank weapon for last because tanks do not need the attack. Even our warriors do need the attack. Yeah, some of this equipment is really lagging behind far, but it's because we have such limited gold. And what I've been doing is like, we need to level up the most lagging behind equipment, so especially these like level 250, this is a key one to level up. We could level it up, but because we've done pretty much all we need to do for today, we're not going to push any further. Let's just wait for resonating level 290, which will be tomorrow, and then we can upgrade some of this equipment. But you're going to be very limited by gold. Battle Drills is going to be starting again tomorrow, so that is a great way to generate some more gold, but still, you're going to be very limited, because even like from Battle Drills, at most you're going to get around 1 to 1.5 million per day, and that's just under even 3 equipment upgrades to maximum level. So let's look at the Evocation spell, and then we can end off the video for today. Yeah, so 3 seconds into a battle, summons a Mauler Spirit every 12 seconds in sequence, and it empowers all allied heroes on the battlefield with its unique strength. So the bull will grant a shield that absorbs damage equal to 45% of the team's attack for 4. So all of them last for 4 seconds. So bull is a 45% shield, 45% of attack shield for 4 seconds. Then we have increased attack by 25% for 4 seconds, which is a really powerful buff. It increases your damage a lot in the Dream Realm bosses. And then Bear, which is increasing the life drain by 30 for 4 seconds, which is good if you need the sustain, but if you have no issue surviving, then it doesn't increase your damage, which is a problem. And Wolf increased haste by 40 for 4 seconds, which does increase your damage, because haste allows you to cast skills faster, cast your ultimate faster. And yeah, as we continue to upgrade it, the effect duration is going to go higher, even up to 6 seconds, which will be pretty insane. And the skill cooldown goes down to 10 seconds rather than the 12 seconds. But anyway guys, I hope you enjoyed the video. Thank you for watching. I hope this helps you with your performance on the Skyclops Dream Realm boss. And we're probably going to continue to do this throughout the week for all the remaining bosses. We've done like a fully up-to-date one for Alpha Bear. I think we did somewhat for Lone Gaze, maybe not fully up to date, so maybe we'll redo that. But Skyclops is fully up to date as well. So I hope you guys enjoyed this video. Thank you for watching. That is going to be it for this one. And I will hopefully see you in tomorrow's video. Let me know how you're doing in AFK Journey today. If you're in the new season, which I think a lot of people would be in the new season by now, what AFK stage are you at? What is your next thing you're pushing for? And yeah, I hope you guys are doing well. But until the next video, everyone, thank you for watching, and peace out for now.